This time, we get to spend more time with our favorite representative from Naboo. Sides of Coin starts right now. Moi. All right, man. It's a great day. We get to spend some time with Jar Jar Binks, everybody's favorite democratically elected representative from Naboo. Joining us today is Nick in studio, plucked directly from the HoloNet. And Angela's producing us today. So we got the whole gang here. Let's get rolling through this episode. This is our chronological rewatch of the Clone Wars, and the blue shadow virus has afflicted her. We'll get there later. But so we've made it to Bombad Jedi. This is one of the episodes that involves Jar Jar Binks, as has been stated many times. Basically, the synopsis is Senator Anaconda Farr from Rhodia has reached out to Padme and said, hey, we're thinking about leaving the Republic. We need to chat and all this sort of stuff. And so she goes out on a mission to help, but he's actually betrayed her and sold her out to Newt Gunray. And so Jar Jar Binks, along with C-3PO, tries to help her out, and he stumbles across a Jedi robe, and a lot of hijinks and hilarity ensues, and he stumbles his way through to actually helping her out, and they end up capturing Newt Gunray at the end of the episode. So we've got a few different things to discuss with this one, but overall, I just kind of want to get everybody's general reactions to it. Nick, what'd you think?
I found it very entertaining. I'm actually kind of a fan of Jar Jar.
That's fascinating.
That's not sarcasm at all. So
no, I know you're genuinely a fan. What in particular? What aspect of his antics do you find the most endearing, or what do you enjoy the most about it?
Probably how clumsy he is, but it works out for him.
That's true.
Especially in episode 1 when he's, he has the gun stuck to him. He's hopping this way and that and just
That's
taking
fair.
out droids.
Yeah, I couldn't help but thinking, I saw your face when I was watching the episode, and I saw him doing all those silly things, and it ended up working out, right? Like how he smushing the ship was kind of just goofy, but yeah, so some of the antics now he just clumsily fails his way through to success is definitely entertaining, and I can't help but think about the Darth Jar Jar theory and all this sort of stuff when we're doing it. But
I wish, man, I truly wish that was true.
Oh, but God, it's so rough, man. I have a hard time with it. I really do. And the droids are pretty cringy in this episode. Their antics. I mean, it's just like they're trying to outstupid each other, Jar Jar and the droids, and then you get the other added dynamic of he calls him Bogey, but that sort of swamp monster caterpillar creature that lives down there underneath the city grates. This is to me almost an entirely skippable episode with a couple little things that I thought were interesting. The first thing I thought that was interesting was the fact that Padme gets a lot to do. She's very resourceful. She adapts to all these changes that get thrown at her, all these things that happen. She's very much goes with the flow, and then at the end, when she could throw Anaconda Farr under the bus and get him arrested for all the traitorous stuff he did, she decides to bury the hatchet and move on and say, oh, it was a plan the whole time, and all this sort of stuff. So she gets a lot of really cool character moments, and that was the majority of it. Oh, we get to see how C-3PO covers for Anakin. Having his robe, and he left his clothes at his girlfriend's house. So that was kind of interesting.
I was wondering if anybody I don't know. I thought I had maybe missed something, but I didn't know if those were Anakin's robes and those were there because of.
No, yeah, they were definitely.
I thought that was the case, but I also was like, maybe I missed an episode prior to this.
No, yeah, they're definitely Anakin's robes.
That was kind of cool, and it was kind of. You picked the dumbest characters. So obviously they're not going to put it together.
Right.
It's like
C-3PO figured it out. I mean, he knew. It was like he knew, and I was surprised that he covered for her too.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. It was just kind of he knew what was going on, but
I don't like Jar Jar. But.
Yeah, it was hard.
I know I'm not alone in that.
No, I think it's more like Nick's alone in this, but
yeah.
Pretty much.
But he's not bad. It was just these episodes serve a place, right? Like they have a role to play, and they do it well. I mean, it's a kids show first and foremost, and I know there are a lot of kids that probably just really love the slapstick sort of stuff, but there really wasn't too much. There was a lot of things that would jump around throughout the episode. You know, like 1 second when they're at the end when they're trying to capture Gunray, they're like on the parapet and they're walking around, and then the monster comes up, and then like it cuts to them in the hangar, just like throwing the ship off. I was like, what the heck is going on right now? I don't know, man. It was this one was pretty skippable for me, but
in the sense of world building, I liked it.
That's fair.
You know what's Greedo's race?
Yeah, the Rhodians. Yeah, so you
Rhodians.
get to see Rhodia.
Yeah.
And that was neat. The swamp planet sort of vibe was cool to explore that. It's starting to look a little better, sort of the animation and things.
I thought so too.
Yeah, that's helping. No, I don't have much else. This is gonna be a real short episode, man. There isn't much there unless you got something else that you say. You're the big supporter. You're the Jar Jar fan.
Well, I like that Newt Gunray was in it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a burning hatred for him, I guess you would say.
Okay, in what way? Let's explore that.
Well, ever since episode 1,
Mm-hmm.
he seemed like an incompetent enemy.
Mm.
Granted, you know, he was just there under Darth Sidious's order.
Yeah, he's
but,
a bit of a pawn. Yeah.
yeah, but I wanted to see him get captured and put on trial and whatnot.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I remember when these came out, I was like, how are they gonna work this? Because obviously in Revenge of the Sith, he's out and he's part of the Separatist Council and everything. So it's like, how are they gonna do this? But you know, we see later on how it all works out. But yeah, it was interesting to see that he did get captured at one point, and it was all because of Jar Jar's doing. So you know, the Bombad Master Bombad. So whatever, man. It was an episode. We watched it. We're all here on the other side of it. So that's about all I have to say. I don't know if you got anything else you want to say. Leave the people with.
I want to see more episodes of Jar Jar pretending to be a Jedi.
Oh God. Disney, if you're listening, ignore him.
I personally, I'm just as a final note, I love all episodes with Padme in it.
Yeah.
Because I think that she's a really good character in the show, and the animation too is getting a lot better. So it's always great to see that, you know, because I don't know whether it's an increased budget or if they just have more people on board working on it, one or the other, you know, maybe both, but love me some Padme.
Yeah, no, for sure. She gets a lot of development in the show. She gets a lot to do, and the animation at this point is definitely on the upswing. They have a lot of it's basically just an upward trajectory throughout the show. It starts out pretty rough, and then by end of season 2, season 3, you're looking at some really beautiful animation for sure. So I can't wait till y'all get there. It's gonna be fun, and we'll talk about next week's episode to see what happens with Gunray, and we'll discuss that then. It's the Cloak of Darkness. But until then, this has been Sides of Coins.